Okay,
Awesome.
so B is, let me make this a little bigger. B is in the numerator. You want to clear the denominator. So you do that by multiplying both sides by 2. So you get 2a equals a plus b.
Okay.
Okay, you can put that over 1 if you want, but you need to do that, and then you just subtract a. So it's 2 big A minus little a equals b.
All right.
Okay. Stop me if you have any questions, but we'll just move on to number 8. They do get a little bit more difficult here as we move down. So here you're solving for y2. Y2 is right there. And it's like you treat this like, even though it's x2 minus x1, you multiply by it, like just like the 2 on the bottom, you multiply both sides by this. So it ends up being x2 minus x1 times m equals y2 minus y1. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then since you're trying to find y2, you just get rid of y1. You add y1 to both sides. Well, and you don't have to distribute. Like, that's the mistake, to think, oh, I got a bunch of stuff I got to do here. You actually just leave it kind of messy like this. And that's why this is in your physics, because they do tend to, you tend to solve equations and you just leave them messy when you're doing that. All right, number 10.
Yes.
All right, solve for A. Okay, I'm sorry, for C. Solve for C. So there's C. And again, we just need to clear this denominator. So it's going to be 4A equals A plus B plus C plus D. And you just have to get rid of all these other ones. So you subtract A, you subtract B, and you subtract D. Okay, so you have 4 big A minus B minus D equals little c.
All right. So
12. Solve for L here. So the like thing that a lot of students want to hear is they want to distribute this too, but you really want to undo it. So you undo it by dividing both sides by 2. Your answers are going to be messy, and that's why you do this, because you don't have the numbers for the variables, so it's going to be messy. L plus W drops out of the parentheses because there's nothing holding it there. So now you're trying to get L, so you just subtract W from both sides. And this is where I guess students are still uncomfortable, is you just leave it messy, like P over 2 minus W. Okay, that's what it is.
all right, on the number 14.
Great. So by comparison, your physics instructor is not as demanding as the math one. Interestingly enough. Okay. Solve 1 over F equals 1 over A plus 1 over B for F. So if you just treated all of this like treat this as a like Z. 1 over F equals Z, right? How would you solve for F? You would just cross multiply, right? So you'd have 1 equals F times Z, and then you'd move the Z over. So F would equal 1 over Z. Do you agree with that?
Oh, so we multiply F by everything and then leave it. Is that how it goes?
Well, so the answer is it's 1 over A plus 1 over B, because that's what it was. Now, sometimes they don't like this, so you need a common denominator down here in the bottom. Your common denominator is AB.
All right.
So the first one's missing a B, the second one's missing an A. So you have B plus A here, and you get 1 over B plus A over AB. Now, from our last lesson, you know that you just bring this one up to the top and you keep this on the bottom. So it becomes AB over B plus A. And we have to go up to 16.
Hold on. Let me yeah, all the way up to 16.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going very fast. Apologize.
It's okay. I just want to catch up and keep on going.
16 is relatively straightforward compared to this one. Solve I equals PRT or PERT. For R, there's R right there. You're just going to divide everything on both sides. So you can actually divide both sides by PT. And then the P's cancel and the T's cancel, and you get I over PT equals R.
Hold on. Let's see.
You can do it all at once. You don't have to do it, an inch at a time. You can just get it all.
So 16. So we got I over PE equals R, and that's it?
T,
Or
PT.
T?
That's a
Alright.
T there, yeah.
So I equals P or T. So then just, oh, I like that. PT and PT. R equals I over PT. Awesome. All right. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna go on to significant figures. And I sent that in a reply to the booking email.
Yeah, I see that. Do you want me to open this thing and work on it, or just work on it in the workspace, or do you want me to actually work on it in the document itself?
Oh, go on the document? Yeah, sure. I'll go on the document. Give me a second. Actually, could you snip it into here? Because I don't want to log into another account for my computer.
I'm sorry. So should I just copy this into our workspace and work on it?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me do that. All right. All right, so. All right, give the number of significant digits in each of the following measurements. Do any of these do you feel like, oh, I got them, I know them? And then I guess like maybe this one here, 6. Do you know how many are in it?
Oh, for 16, that's 1.
It's 1, right? Okay, so I think the hardest thing is the leading, like I think these are leading here, leading zeros, and then the trailing zeros.
Okay.
Okay. So the leading ones, you actually ignore those. So that you just count these numbers here. So that's like 5. That's 3. Okay. This one would be like 4, something like that. Okay. And then the other one's kind of easy, is like when you just count, like, oh, there's 3 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 numbers. There's 3 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then like these, because they don't end in a 0, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I think the rest of them, we have these here. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
So the short of it is that the only, like these all have either the zeros at the end, the ones that are remaining. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of moving my cursor around. The only one that's kind of an exception is this one, because the decimal point is right there. So, and we actually never do this, but because the decimal point is right there, we count all of those. So there's 6 there. That's the exception.
Oh, because there's a decimal point there. Okay, I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
For the other ones,
All
you
right.
ignore it. So this one
Wait, so for
has
12, that 0 at the end, does that count
you ignore
or
it.
no? Okay,
No.
ignore it. All right.
That one you
So it
ignore.
becomes before the decimal point, it counts. So in 12, there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 sig
Yeah.
figs.
This one has 2, because you ignore those. This one, you 1, 2, 3, 4, you ignore those. So it's got 2, 1, 2, 5. You get rid of that one. There's 2. That one is 4, and that does it.
All right, now on the 14, how come it's 3 stick figs? So we ignore everything
1, 2,
before
3,
that.
4. Yeah, just like you did over here in number 4. You ignore those are the easier ones to remember. The ones before it, you ignore.
All right. All right, and then on this, then 16 is. 16 is 1 because it's just 6. Because it's just one sig fig. And 18 is, yeah, it's just 6 because there's no zeros to ignore.
Are there any of these you need me to clarify? Because it's one of those you kind of have to look at and then, okay, yeah, I get that, I get that.
I know that if, yeah, for 670 is 2 because of that 0, because it doesn't come before a decimal point.
Yep.
All right. I think it's mostly clear for me.
So the
All right.
trailing zeros you cross out unless there's a decimal point, then you
Mhm.
don't cross them out. But this one after the decimal point, you cross out.
All right. I think we're good for number 20 now.
Okay. So do we need to do number 19 through 24?
No, we have to do 12 through 24 even. So 20 through 24 even, and then we'll do 29 through 32 and we'll be done.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are so fast. We're just gonna do them all. Because they really aren't all
Don't
that.
require that whole a bunch of brain power, I guess.
Yeah, like once you know the rule, but we'll do, you said you want to do the even. So 20, round the following numbers to 3 significant digits. So so 20, let me write 20 out here. 5.457. So
We got
1,
4
2, 3.
significant figures.
Yep. So to go to 3, it goes to 5.46.
Yeah, because we can just round it.
Okay. Problem is 22 is like 20. That's one of the reasons why I didn't, do that, but
And we just kind of leave that alone, right? Now we're
Yep.
going to number 22.
So it's
We
the
got
same
that.
deal, like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get rid of a few of those and you get 4.54. Because that 6 rounds up.
4.54. All right, on the number 24.
So that's the first kind of interesting one. So 1, 2, 3.
Do we put into scientific notation and round up or something? Or what?
You round this 4 down, so it becomes 876,000.
Mhm.
Okay, now you can go to scientific notation, but it's not necessary.
I think my teacher wanted us to do that during class, so I just want to do it the way that he said they
Okay.
wanted us to do it.
Okay, so it's 8.76 times 10 to the 5th because the decimal's there and you move it left 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get it there. That's why that's a 5 there.
All right, so 8.76 times 10 to the 5th. All right. All right, and that is good. On to number 29.
29, we're not doing any other ones there.
Now we're good.
Okay.
Finding out the physics guy is really straightforward.
Yeah, you should, that tells you, you have to put a lot more effort into the math, at least as the initial guess I've got here. 29. So you look at these two numbers and you say, how many significant figures does each one have? The first one has how many?
This looks like 4.
Okay, and the second one has
2.
2. So when you're done, doing this operation, which you do need a calculator for, you round your answer to the smaller number of significant figures.
Okay.
So you go grab your calculator, or I've got one here too. 7.895 divided by 34, and your answer is 0.23220, so on. Okay, but you just need 2 significant figures.
Yeah.
So your answer is 0.23 because that 2 rounds down. This 2 right here rounds down, but it's not in scientific notation. Scientific notation is 2.3 times 10 to the minus 1, minus because we're moving the decimal the other direction this time.
Oh, and so the final answer is just 0. Just 2.3.
Yes. Times 10 to the minus 1.
Says 0.23.
Yes.
All right. On to number 30.
30. Oh, we're doing a bunch of these in a row?
Yeah, we'll be doing 29 through 32 all. Well, it's not
Okay.
that much.
Okay, so let me snip them all in. That's why I was asking. Cause I was like, oh, I want to get them all. Well, actually, it'll be easier if we do them one at a time. The snip, because these are so small, the snip just doesn't, gotta be a little more careful. I'm sorry, you said 30, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here we go. This first one has how many significant figures?
That one has one.
This one also has one.
Oh, really? Hmm.
It's your, because these, I believe these are leading zeros.
Still,
I,
leading figures mean nothing. All right.
yeah, you might have to check me on that language. It's either leading or trailing, but it's just that number. So you just do it. You grab your calculator. All right, 0.2 divided by 0.0005. Okay, and you get 400. Your answer is 400. How many significant figures does that have?
That's just one again.
So that's your answer. But now you said you had to put in scientific notation. So it's 4 times 10 squared, because this is your number of significant figures. So it's just got one significant figure.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good. On the 31.
All right, 31. Let me double check that 350.0. Feeling a little bit um okay, I gave you some bad information on the earlier one. There's one small exception. This one right here is actually 8 up here at
Oh,
12.
12.
Yeah. And the reason is it's for the same reason that this one's 3 over here, because when you write it in with the 0.0, you count that one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and I did the same thing here. I'm so sorry. Oh, I apologize.
So 12 is 9 sig figs, and then
This one is also not right. The left here, this is 7.
oh, mine were only just 12 through 18.
Okay. Well, just the point is that if they're after the equal sign, or I'm sorry, after the decimal point, they are counted,
Okay.
but not these in front.
Okay.
So the reason it matters here is that you're doing, let me get back to it. There it is. Okay.
So is 30 wrong or is it still correct?
30 is fine.
All right, good.
31 though, and see, the thing is that like what you're gonna notice, like it seems like a big deal, but the first one has 4 significant figures because
No.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The second one only has 1 significant figure. So you always go down to the one that's smaller. So when you subtract these, you get 150.0. But how many significant figures are you allowed to have in your answer? 1. So that means that that's the only significant figure. So what does 5 round up to?
Uh 150. Wait, how? Huh?
It can only have 1 significant figure. So 1 is
Oh,
that
okay.
position,
I see
that
what you mean.
so
Oh,
it's
okay.
either 200 or 100. So which one is it? Well, it rounds up, so it's 200.
All right. So that first one has 4 sig figs. What about 200 1 sig fig? All right.
1, because the 2 there, yeah. These ones at the end here
So
don't count.
all right, 1 sig fig. And then 100.
So I like to
Seven.
write the number of significant figures so that I know how many it has, and then I know what my answer becomes
Yeah, it's a good idea.
when you do it. So like the first one is 4, the second one is 5. So when you grab your calculator and you subtract, you do it as if you have like as many significant figures as you need, but then you round at the end. So 27.68 minus 14.369, okay, is 13.311, but you can only go to 4 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So run that down.
So it becomes 13.31. Now you don't put a 0 here because if you put a 0 here, that's 5 significant figures.
All right.
So that's why you gotta be really careful because you might think, oh, 0. No, we can't have a
Get rid
0.
of it.
And by the way, like, I don't like, this is super archaic. Like, I mean, it's covered in every class, science class ever, but like, it seems to only be emphasized in the beginning and then it like goes away. Will it for you? I don't know. Okay, how many significant figures for the first one here?
All right. First one. Is that just 3?
It is 3. Okay, so you're gonna multiply the numbers. Grab your calculator if you got one. 3.08 times 5.2, and you get 16.016. So how many significant figures can your result have based on this? It can have 2. So there's your 2 significant figures, first 2. So this one this one rounds down, so this becomes just 16.
All right.
Okay, because that has 2 significant figures. 16.0 has 3 significant figures. You see the difference?
Yeah.
This is the correct one.
Awesome.
All right, so 29 to 30. Oh, we went beyond what you needed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little extra time than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't really have anything else I need to work on today, but thank you so much for
Yeah,
all your
Jack.
time.
Do you think you'll be scheduling pretty regularly, or what? What's?
I think so.
Okay. So, if I'm not available, just text me and I can open stuff up for you if needed. But thanks again for scheduling, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good night. Bye now.
You too. Bye bye.